Alright, what's up, guys? I know I haven't made a video in almost 2 weeks. It'll happen, bro. Things happen. Broken monitor. We finally got a new one. And I don't know, dude. I've been feeling ignorant lately. Honestly, I think the break was a good thing for me to reset my mind, right? And how I kind of want to approach my videos. A lot of the time, I feel like I always say this, like, everyone's so safe. Everyone does things a safe way. And then when I make my own videos, I approach it the safe way, and I never actually say my own views and stuff, or what. I don't know, bro. Bunch of mumbo jumbo, whatever. But you know what I realized, dude? I really just don't give a fuck. Yeah, dude. So anyway, yeah, well, welcome back, dude. I didn't forget about my channel, bro. Like I said, I'm not gonna be posting as much, but we're still gonna bang out some videos here and there. So what's going on, bro? What's happening in the world right now? All right, just quick little update. Australia is like blood red. I don't know if it still is. There was like a weird, where you search up pictures of Australia red. It's not a filter. It's just straight up. You walk outside and it's red because of the sandstorm or something. I don't know. Who cares? Trump's Easter gift to the world, his Easter message, was another threat to Iran because we're still over there. And honestly, bro, I'm just counting the days, bro. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to get drafted. I'm finally ready. Not so I can go to Iran, but because Iran is closer to Israel, and that puts me closer to Israel than where I'm at currently. So anyways, yeah, dude, everyone forgot about the Epstein files. And I feel like, you see those memes about Epstein. I don't know what I just said. You see those memes about Epstein. And dude, I feel like it was just one big psyop because Epstein files get released, all this stuff, and then memes start getting bursted everywhere. Sure, some normal people are going to make memes, make a joke about it, whatever. It's always going to be there. But I feel like the sheer quantity of memes was a little unnatural. I feel like it is literally a psyop. It's the government pushing memes about Epstein, trying to normalize it, trying to make it a joke, trying to make it blow over. And I don't know, dude. In 100 years, this is going to be remembered as the Epstein War. But yeah, dude, I've been dibbling and dabbling, okay, about just random shit. All right, I'm very interested in space. Maybe not like science, but just like weird fringe theories and stuff. And I just think it's super interesting, bro. Hear this theory out. I forgot what it's called. It might be the Boltzmeiser brain or something. But basically, the probability of the Big Bang happening is like so low that it is more probable for a random brain, a functioning brain, to spawn in nothingness. Like imagine a black void of space and Big Bang happens. It's so low that the probability of a brain spawning in and remembering these thoughts and thinking you had a life and these memories you think you lived your whole life actually just, I mean, it's like you were born yesterday and you're just a brain in space. That's it, bro. It's more probable for a brain to just spawn in. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. It's like, it's a quantum tunneling, a bunch of science stuff. I don't really know, dude. I just think it's really interesting. But it is just crazy, bro. We're never going to have the secrets to the universe. I don't think, at least I don't think we're going to have the secrets to the universe because as somebody with a lot of free time on their hands and you do a lot of thinking, all right? Like, it's just, how does anything exist at all? I don't know. I'm a little schizo right now. I mean, since the time I was a little kid, the concept of something always being there just never made any sense to me. Whether you apply it religiously or scientifically, how is there just something always there? Like, how does something exist where there's no beginning? It's like a paradox, bro. That literally just does not make sense. How can it always be there? If you just like keep going back, it's like, okay, well, maybe we're inside a simulation. All right, we're in a simulation, but who made the people putting us in the simulation? And then you just be like, oh, it's ultimate paradoxes no matter which way you look at it. Maybe it wasn't always there. Maybe it was pure black nothingness and quantum mechanics somehow made the Big Bang happen and then we boom into life. And then it's just the same question, like, why do quantum mechanics exist in the first place? How does anything exist? Are there 12th dimensional beings walking around and we are nothing but ants to them and they have the secrets to the universe? I don't know. Maybe if you try DMT, you will figure out. Oh yeah, we took another trip to the moon, Artemis. I think a lot's happened in the past week and a half. Yeah, dude, I really don't want to get into it. I don't know all that. I didn't look into it. I know some people are saying it's fake. Did it happen? I mean, probably. The moon's really not that far. It's like 250,000 miles. Cars could drive there, bro. Your car could drive there if you have 250k miles on a car, which you probably been in a car with more miles than that. You might have been in a car with 500k miles. You might have been in a car that could have drove to the moon and drove back. So to put a rocket out there, I don't know. Gas is out of control. Why is NASA sucking up all the gas? I don't know. I still think they took away pennies on purpose to push us towards a digital currency. Now, why am I talking about that? It's because I got in a teeny little argument with my grandpa. Not really an argument, but he said something basically to sum it up. I'm a bum. I'm not doing nothing with my life. And I was like, all right, well, back in the day, a house was really cheap. Okay, I don't know how much you paid for your house, but if I were to try to buy the same house, it would be 10x the price at least. And then he claps back with the minimum wage was $1.50. It's all relative. And then before I could clap back, he put me to work. So you get what you get, I guess. But yeah, anyway, the real topic I actually wanted to touch on is that honestly, I just think Hitler supporters are expanding greatly at a supernatural speed. And I'm all for it, bro. Now listen, bro, I know not everybody's going to be on board with this idea and the whole movement as a whole. Now, me personally, okay, let me just do some explaining before I come off as a crazy lunatic psycho murderer killer, because that's the side of me that I keep private outside of the internet. Usually, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, basically, to sum it up, I just feel like every day more and more people are kind of just coming to the realization that, let's just call it for what it is, bro. School, at least history class specifically, is pretty much just straight up brainwashing. It's pretty much a straight up psyop. And like, it worked, bro. Maybe everybody doesn't relate to this, but let me just start from the beginning, bro. I just remember being in class, history class, and I would always want to learn like cool stuff. But when it came to the world wars specifically, I just never actually remember being taught about it. I remember, okay, these are the bad guys, these are the good guys. It's black and white. And then they kind of just muddy through everything. Here was a few battles, here was this, whatever. Hitler was a crazy lunatic, but he actually was a pretty good, successful leader. But he was crazy, and he was a lunatic, and he was extremely racist, which in all reality, he might have been a racist, okay? He might have been a little racist, but in this day and age, who's not a little bit racist? No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, yeah, I would just remember that. And then I would remember basically skipping the war and just skipping straight to the Holocaust, like every grade, pretty much. Or at least any grade that had anything to do with, global affairs. And then what really put the nail in the coffin, bro, my last year, my 12th year of high school, okay? I'm about to graduate. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. Nobody pays attention in class. The teachers don't care what you're doing. It's just like, all right, get out of here, bro. Be a free man. All right, they're pushing you out of the nest. I'm in English class, and we spent 2 months on the Holocaust. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this has nothing to do with history. And the teacher's like sitting there crying, looking at pictures of like these skinny people. And I'm just like, damn, like, don't get me wrong. This is sad. It's like fucked up, but like, like teach me some like, I don't know, synonyms. I mean, I'm literally sitting here watching like a history documentary focused strictly on the Holocaust, and like, all right, bro, let's take it at face value. If 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust, great. I mean, maybe not great. Maybe I'll put it's said and done. Okay, tragedy. I mean, there's tons of tragedies in the world. We don't learn about any of them. And now, I feel like a lot of people are starting to come to that realization is like, why is this the only thing we're taught? We're only taught about this one tragedy. I mean, we're not even taught like, 20, 30 years prior, anything about the Bolshevik revolution. All right, whatever. Some people call it the Christian genocide in Russia. Whatever the fuck you want to call it, bro. A crazy genocide that basically the Jews curated. Some people say they created the genocide. I don't know. If you don't know what the Bolshevik, I can't even say it, bro. If you don't know what the Bolshevik Revolution is, maybe that's a good place to start if you want to like do some independent, I guess, research. But sorry, bro, let me like fast forward, okay? So, I'm in class, I'm like learning about it. I'm not really caring, because it's just like I don't really care, bro. This shit happened 80 years ago. I'm in an English class, I'm about to graduate. Nobody's really paying attention, but the teacher's like in the corner crying. Fast forward, give it maybe a year after I graduate. I'm bored in my room one day. I just start like searching up shit. I start finding shit. I start like just doing like research and shit. And at this stage, I wouldn't say what Chuds would say. I'm not like fully awakened. That would probably happen late 2024, early 2025. And then, I found out who Sam Hyde was. I was watching him. And then, he has Nick Fuentes on. Okay, but even before that, there was some sparks. But then he's like talking, all right, I figure out who this guy is. I start getting into it. And then I start like seeing all the stuff like I had already previously looked into. And then I start seeing like how everything's connected. And then, this shit's like maybe early 2025. And I know this rant is super all over the place. But, if I just want to be fully transparent here, no, I'm not a racist, okay? Because I know some people are going to like go crazy or whatever. If this video it's not going to get any views. But, let's just say if it got 1 million views, some people probably would just hear what I'm saying and think I'm a lunatic. not a racist, okay? I don't think at heart anyone's like truly a racist. It just doesn't make sense to see another color and like crash out over it. And, even if you're like a little bit racist or whatever, I feel like making that your personality and having such a fixation on that just kind of makes you a weirdo, okay? All I will say is like three things, bro. I believe in stereotypes. I think they are earned, not given for no reason. I think it's funny. That's it. I mean, I believe in free speech, bro, and pattern recognition. That's it. It's not a plea for like accept me because I'm racist. Like, no, bro, none of that shit. I hate to pull this card. I got black friends, bro. We're all cool. Nobody really gives a fuck like that. I don't even know where I'm going with all this, but I really just I want to segue into this. This is my main point. Is that so like I'm just a weirdo in the basement, all right, doing research. The weird guy who's like, oh, that's conspiracy theory, and he actually has nothing going for him in life, all right. So if you want to picture that as me, go ahead. That's pretty accurate. But basically, the shit that everyone would be like, oh, that's conspiracy theory, that's crazy, is all just kind of coming out to be true now due to just current day fucking events, I guess. And it's the part I really wanted to say, bro, is that it just seems like it's expanding because people I know personally who like wouldn't ever give a fuck about any of this shit are starting to like say shit like, oh, the Jews did it, or like all this shit, like the Jews did it, or they're starting to talk about Epstein. It's because all this shit's on full blast now. And the thing is, it's just like a big mix of people who are like really into this shit and like know every last detail. And that's probably not me. I'm probably just like halfway. I got my knee in, bro. That's about it, I guess. Maybe both knees, and I'm sinking. But then there's the people with like a toe in it, all right? So, Dad, if you see this video somehow, you got your toe in it, bro, because I'm sitting here at Easter, and, I've brought up stuff like this before. My dad just kind of brushed it off. But then, like, the other day at Easter, bro, I don't know what happened. We're talking about the Trump assassination or whatever, and then Kirk comes up or something. But before Kirk comes up, my dad's he's about to go in the garage and play pool or whatever because he's a G. He's drinking that alcohol, that delicious Jack Daniels or whatever. And then I forgot, I don't know, talking to my grandma or some shit, and he says some shit like, oh, Trump assassination? I still think Mossad did it. And now in my head, I was like, okay, I mean, not a terrible take, I guess, but at the same time, like, why are you saying I still think Mossad did it? You probably figured that out yesterday on an Instagram reel, which he does not on Instagram. Maybe Facebook. I didn't know Facebook had that shit, but, whatever. Listen, you guys are going to be like, oh, shut the fuck up. I know my dad, all right? He's not really, like, doesn't really care that much about this shit, but then to, like, say I still think it did it, that just kind of paints perspective. Like, a lot of these people are going to, like, pretend that they know everything, and then you just got to be careful what you see, okay, on the internet. Not everything you see on the internet's real, which leads me, it brings me full circle. You see a lot of like stuff on the internet, especially you Instagram users, bro. We all know what's going on in that app. If you just scroll for like an hour, you're gonna see something like the Jews did it. You're gonna see something like that. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. All I'm saying is like, what if it's just like a 4D chess game and everything you're seeing is like on purpose to fucking design your brain into like some crazy like falling for like some tactic. I don't know, dude. So they're playing you, okay? It always like it gets me. I'm like, all right, I don't want to like be an idiot here. So like, let's take what I know. I know that I grew up learning all about the Holocaust. Okay, that's the like one of three big takeaways, all right, from history class. What are the three big takeaways? I don't know, probably American independence, and everything that comes with it, colonization, all the white people are terrible, all that. Yeah, we all know that. Okay, and then I guess the Civil War, some like American history type stuff, and then everything else just kind of seems a little muddied down. And then, yeah, the other big, yeah, if I didn't make it clear already, there was the Holocaust, which was drilled into my brain in the English class. So whatever. Basically, I keep on living my life. I'm sorry this video is running long. I really just want to rant, dude, and just fucking get it off my chest, I guess. Even though I'm not going to go too deep into it this video. But if you guys wanted follow-up videos on this type of subject, let me know. Because I'm not putting this thought together super, like, well crafted. I just don't give a fuck. I'm ranting in my room. So, if you want to attack me for something or whatever, if somebody gets a little, like, offended. I mean, I'm actually here to hash things out, all right? Don't just be a jackass. I mean, you can. I don't care. But, I would actually like to just, get some perspectives. That's what I want to know. Like, do you guys think this Jew movement is growing? Because it certainly is, okay? The Jewish hatred is going up. We're all anti-Semites now. Not me. I would never do that. I'm the perfect goy. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even know what I'm ranting about anymore. I grew up learning all this shit in school, all right? The Holocaust, terrible, all this other shit, It's just like every other grade. They're like hammering the shit into your head. That's literally what I remember. But then it's like, I mean, the gas chambers had wooden doors, all right? That just doesn't make sense. To me, also, what just doesn't make sense is like killing people with gas is pretty expensive, kind of time consuming, and just like all around not the best efficient way to do it. Now, maybe if they have some weird kink for like gas or some shit, I understand, maybe. But, you got to keep in mind, bro, the Nazis were like the most. This video is so demonetized. I'm not monetized, but if I were, anyways, the Nazis were like the most advanced fucking people at the time, bro. They were like balling. All right, everyone has to admit they were balling. Okay, Operation Paperclip. I mean, everything we did early on, putting a man on the moon, the fucking Cold War, like the space race, all that shit is like Nazi technology. I mean, they were ahead of their time for sure. So, I mean, are people ahead of their time really gonna like put wooden doors on a gas chamber? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know, dude, but that's not the ultimate argument. All right, obviously, there's a million more reasons to why people debate the numbers of the Holocaust. Okay, I'm not denying it never happened. I'm not saying it was right. Okay, the whole idea of concentration camps in general probably is a little fucked up. Okay, but you also have to understand Germany's side of the story, which is probably more common knowledge now. You know, before World War II broke out, Germany was fucked. It was like a war zone. Everybody knows. Okay, child brothels were everywhere. Let's just not even talk about who owned them. You know, some people could probably argue the concentration camps were justified or whatever. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is, yes, camps did exist. Okay, what people try to debate, I guess, is the death camps specifically. Okay, I think in total there was supposed to be 5 out of all the camps. Most of them were supposed to be labor camps or whatever, but there was only 5 where they were actively trying to just mass murder people. And that's kind of what people debate, is that shit was not for mass murder. There's so much like evidence on both sides. And just keep in mind, bro, when you're doing research, I mean, it's all just kind of taking a source's word for it. And when it gets down to it, bro, the defenders are going to be like, yeah, there's so much documentation to prove it. It's what everybody says. But it's like, okay, if you take it at face value, they have documentations. Like, show me, like, what are the documents? And how can you know for sure that documents you're seeing are not forged? So much shit that goes into it. I don't even know what I'm ranting about anymore. I'm kind of an idiot. I don't even know what the ultimate point is. I guess that's the point, is that there's 2 sides to every story, all right? And you get told one side, and the whole point of World War II is that there's pretty much just one victim to be made out of World War II. And it's just like, okay, bro, I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand how we get hammered this stuff into our head when we're little, okay? Literally when we're like 10 all the way up to like 18, this shit's like hammered into your brain to like so far to the point where even a video like this, kind of just bringing up topics, kind of talking about it, would probably trigger some people deeply emotionally, scarring them for life over a video. No, that's a joke. But yeah, dude, I mean, even just like debating the topic can kind of make you an outcast. And that's, to me, just seems like a successful, like, fucking psyop. Like, why is debate not even allowed? And specifically debate around this entire topic and situation. Now, I get it's extremely deep and, you know, sentimental and emotional and all this stuff. But it really is just like an emotional argument versus like facts that just seem like they contradict what the mainstream view is, or narrative, or whatever. But when it comes down to it, bro, it's just like, I mean, you could literally search up Holocaust swimming pools and you can find people swimming in camps. You can find people like cooking in camps. You can find people playing like sports and shit. And like I said, there's just like so much shit to be like learned. There's the rape of Germany, which, you know, is basically like, it's hard to defend. Even if like every single person in Germany was a Nazi, it's like, do they deserve to go through like, well, I guess primarily the Soviet Union did to them, but, you know, some American citizens and the other, you know, UK and shit did as well. Everyone skips over, is it Winston Churchill, bro? I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but everyone skips over, you know, what he did in India. Like, they don't say that shit to you anywhere in history class. That's like, it's kind of my point. It's like, why does history class laser focus the Holocaust, but you don't learn, you know, Winston Churchill? You know who he is, like, he's supposed to be one of the good guys or whatever, but you don't know like what went down in India. You don't know about the fact that, I mean, at the time, Britain, they had like the biggest empire. You know, at the time, America actually referred to what is current day Israel as Palestine. And that's why arguments like Charlie Kirk saying, oh, show me where Palestine is on a map. I don't see it. I don't see Palestine. We've never known them as Palestine. That's why those arguments are dumb, is because, you know, roughly 80 years ago, which we'll get into that in a minute, we referred to that area as Palestine, the Palestinian people. And then, you know, it comes modern day, it's like, okay, it's like the arguments, it goes all over the place. It's like, all right, okay, well, that's 80 years ago. That was Palestine 80 years ago. And then you'll bring up, okay, well, the Holocaust was 80 years ago. So you're saying none of that matters. And you'll be like, no, the Holocaust matters deeply. And it's like, okay, well, the Holocaust was 80 years ago, but so was Palestine. That was 80 years ago. I mean, it matters deeply. I mean, it all comes like full circle. And it's just like so dark and twisted that people who are supposed to have gone through this terrible genocide are now the people inflicting that genocide onto another group of people. But the big, punch in the gut is that the U.S. is fully supporting it, fully taking everybody's money and just handing it over for this. And it's just like, bro, this shit's still going on, and I don't want to be indifferent to anybody's suffering. I don't want to be like, just come on here and be a bigot, but genuinely, bro, like some true, like, just arguments, bro. The number 6 million shows up so many times before the Holocaust ever happened. It's like, I don't know if this is for sure true, so I probably shouldn't say it, but apparently 6 million Jews dying is something that would like fulfill a testament or something from their version of the Bible, the Talmud, their holy book. That was 6 million people. That would like fulfill something. I forgot exactly what it was. When it comes down to it, bro, I mean, the truth is muddy. It's not clear, good guy, bad guy, either way. I'm not like a fucking Hitler lover, or not. Well, I'm not saying he's a perfect guy, but I'm also saying like, I'm not saying that the Jews were blameless victims either, bro. I'm saying like, it's muddy. That's the real answer. I mean, shaved heads, that really did happen, but why did it happen? I mean, there was a serious lice infection, typhus infections, like going around and obviously spreading through hair, what lice do. The best way to prevent that from prevent like mass sickness from people dying is just the shaved heads. I mean, guards had shaved heads too. And then the people starving likely is true. A lot of people probably did starve to death, but from what I hear from my research, from my retardation, is that as Germany starts losing the war, things start getting tight. They're fucking fighting a two-front war, and it's not easy, bro. It's not easy on Germany, and I'm not a Germany sympathizer, but I am not blind to the fact that yeah, dude, I mean, when you're fighting a two-front war and you're losing, and guards stop getting food, civilians stop getting food, you're probably going to prioritize the people in those camps last. So yeah, dude, I'm probably not going to release this video, but fuck it. Yeah, so this is post-recording. I just rewatched it, and I sound like an idiot through the whole thing, which, fair enough, I am an idiot. But I noticed towards the end of the video, I started playing it more safe, which, I just happened to do by nature, because in all honesty, this whole topic is something that, I mean, you could spend hours debating and talking about and really flushing through all, I guess, paperwork, all the history and facts and, everything that goes into it. And, I'm not really proud of this video. It doesn't really it doesn't actually accurately represent my viewpoint or standpoint. It is kind of just me like asking questions and kind of playing dumb a little bit. And I kind of forgot the whole point of the video, I did kind of want to start it out kind of just being like, being satirical and just being fucking sarcastic, but I kind of lost that, and I started just like having like a actual weird conversation with myself, which I didn't really mean to do. Here, let me turn the mic. Basically, to put it simply, if there's like 10 levels of conversation, like how deep this goes, this is probably like level 3. And honestly, the only reason I'm making this video is because I feel like the whole Jew thing really is reaching a super wide audience. It's like everybody's a quote unquote noticer now or whatever. And a while ago, I probably never would have like made a video like this, because it really would have, I mean, to be honest, it is just a bad look, especially whenever I'm like not really even fully taking my own side. I'm kind of just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. But the point is, there's like no hiding it really from anyone anymore. I mean, the shit's fucking obvious. The Jews. I mean, I guess the real appropriate term would be the Zionist and the state of Israel as a whole. I mean, you can like get politically correct about it, or you can just be simply saying the Jews or whatever, which is what makes this topic. It makes it hard to take somebody like me seriously, I guess. I can't even take my own self seriously when I like watch it back. But I mean, it's like you can't even defend the fact that, yeah, they're overrepresented in our government, in our country. And people who are pulling the strings, people who own certain, companies, certain CEOs or whatever, certain like high-ranking executives. And it gets to a point where like you can't even talk about this shit, which is also another reason I didn't really want to talk about it. But now, like I said, everyone's talking about it. Tyler Alvera made a video talking about, Jewish people trying to use welfare here in the, here in the States or whatever it all was. But basically, he made that video, and then a bunch of advertisers like were trying to pull out, trying to tell him like, hey, take this old video down you made like 2 years ago. I think the video might have got taken down as a whole. And it's like, bro, he does videos on like everything. He goes to India. He like records people. He's been to Europe. He's like recording, the crisis they got on going over there. He does a whole wide array of topics. He fucking, didn't he sneak onto the Epstein Island, like all the shit? But as soon as he makes a video talking about Jewish people here in America and the way they're living, it's such a weird like shift. It's like the video is not allowed to be on YouTube or something. It's like, okay, what? Like what? or maybe it is still on YouTube, but you know, he got a lot of backlash for it, and not necessarily from the American people. It's from American like advertisers, or maybe not even American advertisers, just advertisers as a whole. People are backing out. A bunch of people are like trying to file lawsuits or whatever. It's like a whole bunch of backlash from, you know, not the actual people of America. It's a bunch of backlash from the people running the shit, which is like a big eye opener. Basically, it goes to show, yo, the people of America are not seeing eye to eye with the people who are running shit. And, you know, the people who should be running shit are supposed to be the people. But, you know, it is really interesting having, like, you know, just really diving into it over the past year, really going into a lot of history and stuff. And it's cool to, like, see stuff. And, like, I literally was thinking I'm crazy. Like, I'm talking to my girlfriend, going super deep into shit, like, having, like, I wouldn't even say conversations. It's like me lecturing her, and I feel bad, but she listens and she thinks it's actually interesting, okay? And she reassures me, and I tell her, like, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm crazy. I feel like we are literally like, I don't know. I don't even want to get into it, but, you know, I'm literally like feeling crazy. Like, I feel like, you know, I bring up the Bolshevik Revolution to somebody, and it's like, I would feel like they would think I'm like a super fucking fascist racist or something. And now this shit is just every day becoming more and more common knowledge, okay? The whole anti-Semite movement is just becoming more and more like acceptable, which, you know, like even like history books, I don't even know what the quote is, but it's like, bro, when people first start like noticing like who's controlling the shit, like that's when, you know, I'm like butchering two quotes together. All right. Let me just put them together for you real quick so I don't sound like a retard. So first you have Napoleon. I think maybe it's not Napoleon. A war is when your government tells you who the enemy is. A revolution is when you figure it out who the enemy is for yourself. And then the other quote, I don't even remember word for word. I'm probably going to butcher it, but I think it's from some book. And it basically goes something like, when the Jews have, and this is like, you know, pretty, I guess, extreme view, if that's what you want to call it, you know, for some people maybe. When the Jews have to implement a law versus like anti-Semitism or whatever, trying to silence people, that's the first sign, or like the first like down step for them. That's when things are going to start flipping over. But the thing is that's really fascinating is this shit goes back for like ever, bro. Like Hitler was not the OG noticer, bro. If anything, it was probably Henry Ford. He might have been the ultimate OG noticer. But at some point you got to ask a question, bro. Why were you exiled from 170 plus countries? You know, I didn't even talk about JFK, but you know, like I said, the reason I actually wanted to make this video is because even like close friends I've known from the 5th grade who've like, I don't like talk to them necessarily about all this stuff. I have like a separate, you know, circle for that, for this kind of topic. But, you know, even these like, you know, people I've grew up with who've like, you know, I've known my whole life, people who like never really taken an interest in like politics or global affairs or whatever. Even like, you know, they start talking about it. I'm like, yo, like, bro, let me tell you, bro. And then it's just like crazy because I remember one of them brought up, he said something about like the Jewish ads. Okay. And I was like, yo, bro, that is like straight up like modern day propaganda. Okay. And if you don't know what it is, bro, like I don't know anymore. Probably I like blocked them all because I kept getting them, but there was like so many ads that you know, I would get on like everything, bro. Like, you know, TV, you know, like Netflix or like Disney Plus or whatever, on YouTube, phone ads, like Instagram, or maybe not, like just any social media, like pop-up ads and shit. It's just like, what would you do whenever you see a Jewish boy get kicked on the side of a street and like get spit at? Like all this crazy shit about how like it's like just the ultimate victim card is what gets fucking played every time. And it's like so like deeply enrooted in everything that it's like crazy. Like in general, if you're racist to anybody, you get called a racist. If you're racist to black people, oh, you're racist. If you're racist to like Australians for some reason or whatever, or the, you know, Indian people or Chinese people or, you know, whatever it may be, you get called a racist. But as soon as you start like being quote unquote racist to Jewish people, it's a separate word. You're an anti-Semite. It's like a step above. It's like they had to make a whole nother word to categorize you into like a different, like I said, different category. And shit like this just gets scary to talk about because, I mean, on a real note, dude, with Palantir and like all the like AI data sorting and like categorizing people, I mean, even releasing a video like this, I feel like could literally hinder my chance at like getting a job, even though like I totally use like a different email or whatever, everything for this video, like this channel, I try to keep my own life private. But even like making a video like this, I genuinely have the like fear that like, yo, like in a background check, I don't know what like would come up with like, you know, how data centers and shit, you know, Palantir connecting all data together from like, you know, Facebook post or whatever, to like what sites this person might visit, to like, what's this person's like daily routine, all this shit. It's not like they're going to get all that back in a background check, but there would just be some sort of like flag or some sort of indication like, hey, this person might be a risk to the company's brand, some shit like that. And I don't know if I'm paranoid or schizophrenic or whatever, and that's honestly probably the real reason I try to like be more tame in my videos. But there's that. But then I like touch into my deeper roots, my true like earth view, bro. I mean, nothing fucking matters, bro. Some people like they got their lives going for them, bro. They're successful in life, and like good for you, bro. But like at the end of the day, it's not like I'm making an excuse to be a bum, because I don't. Yeah, obviously I want to be successful, but I really don't want to let money dictate my life status. At the end of the day, bro, it doesn't matter. It's my life. You only get one chance, but a billion people were born before me. A billion people are going to be born after me. I'm just like, dude, if you could zoom out, we are a hive type of like species, bro. We have to work together as like ants, bro. Otherwise, like, there's no way things are going to move forward. And I honestly, dude, I feel like just the way to live your life is not by dictating it by like money or other people's standards. It's setting your own standards. And what are my standards? For one, being happy. For two, probably just living your life in a good way. Like, it gets a little confusing, bro. Like, I'm not saying to like be all uppy and gippy or like the bestest like person to ever live, like Gandhi or some shit, or I don't even know if he's a good person, but basically having good principles, bro. I mean, just making a positive impact on the world, regardless if you do it in your own way. And some people can view that in the negative light, and some people can view it in the positive light. It's really living yourself for you. And I have like so much, I feel like this is like a whole topic for a separate video, bro, but I feel like I have such a detachment from my life, psychologically, but physically I'm still there like doing shit. But, like psychologically, it's just like, nothing like matters. I don't really give a fuck. Like, I could die tomorrow, and, there would be a lot of shit I would still want to do. Obviously, I wouldn't want to die tomorrow, but in the grand scheme of things, I mean, death is coming regardless. I view my life as not that important, and that can sound depressing, but it's not me like doubting myself or anything. I just view basically the earth as not all that important. We're just a rock floating through space. It's not really the bigger thing going on in the universe. To us it is, because that's our life, that's what's happening. But the thing that keeps me grounded the most is I realize, okay, that a lot of people, it is the biggest thing going on for them, bro, is like their life and like what's going on in the world, or whatever, all this shit. Okay, the fact that it matters to other people makes me like, okay, like, if shit doesn't matter to me, I know at least it matters to this person. If I had a button to like ruin that for them, or to let them like just keep, having like their own shit, their own good life, I would press, the good life button. Obviously, I'm not just here to bring other people down, and I want to be very conscious of that. But, I don't know how I got on this topic. This is a total switch up. And, this video is like, I'm teetering on like 40 or 50 minutes. I don't even fucking know, bro. We're just going to release it. I would like to hear feedback, I guess. There's tons of shit, bro. I'll be checking comments and shit. So, dude, let me know if I should even keep uploading. I don't even know. This isn't going to be like my grand send-off, but, I feel like taking a step back from YouTube did give me a little bit more time to myself to try and sort myself out, because, I'm in that stage of life. I really got to like figure shit out. I'm not like falling behind or anything, but it's just like, bro, you get it, bro. But yeah, dude, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Semites and anti-Semites, I don't know, bro. Have a good day. Have a good life.